Very fortuitous.
Where are you buying from now?
I always buy from Alibaba.com, where I get great deals at factory prices.
Alibaba.
Of cricket and very competitive. We've seen a couple of wickets fall, but we've seen in between times one or two glorious cricket shots as well. We've had everything.
Drop ball by Van Meekeren and yet another appeal. No question asked of Langton.
Van Meekeren's a tall right-arm seam bowler, and he's going to extract some bounce off this surface, which he's done there. That's a good delivery, but I don't think it's good enough to get the inside edge.
Wide ball.
It did seam in. Just catch the inside thigh guard as it went through to Scott Edwards, the captain. Some good bounce there.
Captain of the Netherlands, Edwards, just making a few slight changes as the captain of Nepal faces up. Young captain. He's a young captain, but the new coach of Nepal, Monty Desai, said he's a very enthusiastic captain in Rohit Patil. He's a big part of why their team is here as well. Just looking at that ball, there was an appeal from Van Meekeren. Obviously you can see it's pretty high, but also no inside edge. There was just a little flick of the back leg, so good decision by the umpire. There's a lot of noise out there, so good decision.
Rohit Patil. Nice.
Now, Rohit Patil is a youngster. We've spoken about him as a captain, being a young captain, but he is also someone who distinctly remembers watching Nepal in 2014 qualify for the World Cup as an 11-year-old. He remembers running home to go and watch the qualifying, watch the games as well in the World Cup, and he said that was a reason that it's inspired him to actually play the game. He knows that it was a very difficult road to become a professional cricketer in Nepal, but it was a big part of what inspired him. Oh, and here he is, leading his team in a bit of a tough situation as the power play ends at 29 for 2.
So advantage to the Netherlands at the moment is no doubt about they've got a well-balanced bowling attack. These four there from
Yeah, wasn't there, Tom?
Certainly a bit of swing away from the right-handers, but there's also a couple of lovely drives. And this was the first wicket to fall, just that extra bit of bounce that Pringle got off the surface. Another lovely drive through the covers. And then the big LBW ball just seaming in to the right-hander. That's a lovely clip through the leg side for another boundary. So a couple of half volleys on offer, but you don't mind that from your bowling attack, particularly if there's movement. You'd rather than be over pitching than bowling short if the conditions are suiting swing and seam.
Yeah, I think it was Graham Smith that said it yesterday, that someone had a sense of humour, making sure the Netherlands were in the same group as South Africa. After what we've seen over the last couple of World Cups.
Well, everyone's talking about India and Pakistan, aren't they? They're talking about that massive clash coming up in New York, but I'm looking forward to the Netherlands, South Africa. It's just as much on that for me.
England, New Zealand will be a good one as well, Smithy.
We've already had a super over in the tournament. That's really well manufactured.
Yes.
Gave himself more than enough room to go over the offside.
I like this. They've been basically playing the seamers on the crease. And because the seamers have been bowling a relatively good length, they haven't had to adjust. And by using his feet on this occasion, it's given bowlers something to think about. But he's free the opportunity to free his arms. Relatively good length delivery, but he made it his delivery. Went leg side, got the balance right, got the body in good position, and when he played the shot he was still, and that's the most important thing.
Here is someone who had quite a serious injury and kept him out of the last World Cup, and he's maybe had his struggles at the IPL trying to find the right way, but it looks like he's finding form yet again, and just in time for South Africa. He bowled with pace yesterday. He certainly got something off that wicket as well. He was getting it up 145 plus yesterday.
Did you request that?
Let's put a nice spin on the South African after your comment.
It was good to see Nokia back in form, as you quite rightly said, Natty. Had a tough time for the last couple of months, having come back from serious back issues. But what has been interesting both in New York and at this venue in Dallas is that the seam bowlers seem to be relishing the opportunity to bowl on these surfaces. It's not about spin, it's about seam, and if you can bowl it with the right length, the right line, you're going to get something out of this surface.
Yeah,
and interesting, they've decided to bowl Vivian Kingma out here, so quite early for him because he does sometimes bowl in the closing overs for them, so it's an interesting decision. At the toss, Netherlands called it right in the end. They were going to have said they'll have a field first. Some joy for the Netherlands up front, getting a couple of early wickets. This crowd is just pushing this Nepal innings along. It's like an extra fielder. Certainly proud of their journey, and it has been a long journey. Not finished just yet, Vivian Kingma.
This will be interesting, and why the crowd could be important is later on. If Nepal can get to something around the 150, 160, and say to the Netherlands, if you can get 8 runs and over, good luck to you, you win the game. But there's more than 11 of us out here. There's probably 6,000 of us you're up against. And that's what they need to do. They need to post the total, which brings the crowd factor in as well. There's the pressure. That's the big 12th man, the 12th fielder. Big aspect.
He got out of that over well, despite the wide. It's 38 for 2. 15 for 2, and that was in the 4th over. So just starting to build a little bit of a partnership that's going at a runner ball. ICC mascot Blaze in amongst the crowd. On the board, 2 down. This crowd's getting into it. Blaze is getting into it as well. We've seen Vivian Kingma bowl out. Here's 4 overs and for 23. Pringle back for the Netherlands.
Quite
quite like the slime that Tim Pringle's bowling here, because he's basically taking the onside out of play, and he's saying, if I bowl wide of the off stump, you're going to have to drag me really wide from wide, or you're going to drive at me. I've got two players behind point. One has already taken a catch. I quite like the tactic. It has to be, almost comes to fruition again, and you can see the plan. So Nepal, two right-handers have to get together, have a chat about what they're going to do about this plan, and whether they go across to off stump and get closer to the ball. But at the moment, Pringle's dominating, and it's pretty simple to see.
Pringle initially a seamer. He only took up spinning about the age of 15. Did want to actually play for New Zealand, had an opportunity to play in a New Zealand 11 back home, but did pretty well in that. And the word spread quickly that he had a Dutch passport. And all of a sudden was playing for the Netherlands not long after that. He was there in the World Cup in 2022. Just wants a slight change in that offside field. Got a little top edge. How far does this go? Tim Pringle back into the attack, gets wicket number 3 for the Netherlands.
And that is what we're talking about here by bowling.